everyone. You are watching Managing Day to Day with me, Christina Laster, and National Parents Union. Welcome. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all thriving. Hello, America's beautiful children. We love you. And so we have an amazing guest today that I would like to, and I'm very honored to bring out. Hello, Kimberly. How are you? Hi.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's great to see you. And so I have the honor of being able to have you on today. And for those of you who don't know, I'll allow her to tell who she is, but we have Kimberly Calvin, City Council woman from Ward 6 in San Bernardino, and also over the Acoma Unity Center. So go ahead and tell everyone who is watching who you are and the passion for what you do.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be with you today. As my sister girlfriend, Christina, just mentioned, my name is Kimberly Calvin, and I am executive director of Acoma Unity Center, and we are an after-school enrichment program. And we are inside of San Bernardino City Unified School District, even though we do service scholars throughout the Inland Empire. We've been in operation for 3 years and very excited. We are a program that is culturally centered. And so that means that we focus on, the areas of issue for our children of color. And we work with their parents intensively as well. And so at Acoma, when you come to Acoma, you just really get to see that Acoma is one huge family. And
Right.
And Acoma means the world to myself, being a co-founder, and all of our board members and all of our parents and children that participate in the program. So after school, we have where we provide tutoring, arts, all type of other programs that will assist our scholars in progressing not only in their education, but who they are as individuals and community members. And so being a community member, I'm constantly advising them and letting them know that they also have a responsibility to give back to community. And so with that being said, this past election season, I did run for 6th Ward City Council for San Bernardino, and I did win. And so I'm very excited about that. And my sister Christina and her lovely children did come out several times to come walk and campaign. And that's important that we engage our children in democracy and in that right, and in the ability to get out there to push issues that are important to our community, because if we don't, no one else will. So at Acoma, we've always had a civic engagement program there, but this brought a real home for our scholars and their ability to be part of the process, and their families as well. So very, very excited. I don't take office until December. There are other seats that have to that won't be determined until the general election in November. So, but really, really, really excited though.
And I'm excited for you because I know that you put people and community first, and that is just something that is who you are, right? And so talk about what Acoma looked like prior to COVID school closures and what it looks like now.
Wow. So, that's sad. No, that hurt too. That really hurt. It did. I mean, that was like, it almost like a dagger just went through me, because when I go to Acoma, I just live right around the corner from it. And when I go to Acoma now, I don't see children playing, grass is tall. There's just, it's just the life that we are used to seeing, and kids thriving and parents driving in and out and kids yelling and playing and mentors and them. Please let me not forget them, the other folks in the community who give to the lives of children and families. So it's very, very, very different. We always had a quarterly a meal that we would serve. We call it soul food. And this is the time where we allow parents, the whole community to come in, and we serve a down home meal, and we get to sit down and break bread, and then allow our children to show what they have learned, display their artwork. It's just a wonderful time. And we've been doing that for 4 years. And so we're not, you now we're able to see just how important the human touch is, right?
Yeah.
A hug, right?
Right.
Sometimes some things that we forget to do even within our own households every morning. We wake up and you just start your day and walk past each other, but don't extend a hug. It is incredibly important to hug children. And so I would stand at the door of Acoma every single day that I'm in the building and hug every last one of them as they come through, because I'm never sure of if they have received one today, if they're going to receive one when they get home. And so they can always count on having a hug from Mama Kim, as they call me here in the community, Mama Kim. So going forward, we now are working with our distant learning program. And so we try to model it as much as we could to what a regular day at Acoma looks like. And so parents pick up packets every 2 weeks, which will have all of their essentials, the scholars' essentials that they need to carry out every activity that we're going to have for that week. So,
and I don't want to miss the opportunity. Sorry, I have a little bit of clear my throat. We've been talking about how we could utilize this time as parents, caregivers, family to set new norms and shape the family structure to what we really want it to be. And I know that there's a lot of working parents, caregivers, family members who now have the opportunity to have more hands-on time, right? And so, hugging is essential, a part of a child's growth and development, receiving that touch, that love. I know of people, teenagers, college students, adults who, said, I didn't get hugged, my parents weren't touchy-feely, right? And so, I just admonish everyone that's watching to take that moment to allow your touch to your child or a child that you're caring for, to hug them, to tell them that you love them, right? Don't assume that they know, because that's not, always an assumption that's clear to them. They can't just assume like that you love them. It needs to be shown in different ways. And so whatever that may look like in your home, you have this great opportunity to establish that.
And what we have to remember too is that it has to, in some families, and most, I find that it needs to be learned, because if a parent did not get hugged, then more than likely she's not going to be a hugger.
Right.
And so we almost have to deal with the parent, as the same exact way we're dealing with the child, meaning I need to hug mom when she comes to Acoma so that she gets comfortable and begins to internalize the feeling, the connection of how she feels, along with the connection with, I didn't get hugged, but this feels good, so it must feel good to my baby too. I'm going to do this now as a new standard or a practice in my life and in our life going forward. So we can't always, like you're saying, assume that even parents know what that feels like or the importance of that. At Acoma, I always try to dealing with understanding that one, most of our scholars live below the poverty level.
Right.
And which means that a lot of times I see 3 generations coming through Acoma, and a lot of times all 3 of those generations also lived below the poverty line, which causes stressors, right? And normally families that are stressed are living with things that are beyond their control and abilities to change,
Yes.
then there's not a lot of hugging going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually quite the opposite. It's a lot of pushing away. It's a lot of
Right.
do it yourself. It's a lot of I ain't got time. It's a lot of I got to get to work. It is what's wrong with you. It is calm down, get it together. So we have to work with parents with the same loving and tenderness as you do with a scholar, because
Yes.
in order for me to truly help the scholar, I've got to truly help mama and daddy.
And that is true. I so value that perspective, of not just looking at the whole child, but looking at the whole family structure, family values. I was in San Bernardino with you at the Poverty Summit, and just listening to those shared experiences really struck me like, we're dealing with so many layers of things, right? That have a traumatic effect on generations. And so beginning this generational healing, um, you know, we have to start somewhere, right? To break some cycles of certain things. There's so many layers to this.
And
And
I've been thinking about that, the layers,
right.
the layers. And I'm really grateful, that God allowed us to be at this time. I mean, in spite of the fact that there are a lot of folks who've lost their lives, a lot of families have been, you know, affected, immensely, and that is so devastating. And I understand that. But for the rest of us, we must look for the silver lining.
Yes.
You must look for the silver lining if you're going to turn a negative into a positive.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
You must
Agreed.
have to look for the silver lining, and then we have to implement that part. We got to live that all the way out. And just like you're doing, Sister Christina, with this podcast, and because out of the mire of ashes always comes up some creativity and some beauty,
Right.
that we can hold on to if that is our intent.
Yes. We have to be intentional about our actions and our motivations, right? And move with them with I call it a laser focus target. Like, this is where my face is like flint, and I'm headed in this direction, because I know that this is generational work, and it's a marathon, like my guest yesterday said. It's not a sprint. We're in this for the long
Oh
haul.
no. Oh no. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's going to change the way we deal with everything. So, for instance, listening to the hearing today, I'm like, okay, in my head, how do you keep third graders from wanting to hug and touch and do all of that and touch you? You
Right.
know, how do you prevent a child? Whoa, 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 whoa! Don't hug me! Don't hug me! Don't hug me! You know, how do you do that? So we're going to also have to create a layer on ourselves, of protection, here, right, and here,
Mm-hmm.
because you
Right.
still know that the need is going to be tremendous when those kids come back,
Exactly.
because you don't
Right.
know what's been going on in the households. We have
Right.
some scholars that will quickly turn off their camera because it's cussing and fussing and stuff going on in the back, or you can peer into someone's house and you see what the child is actually living within. And
Right.
and if we think that we're not going to be having to deal and assist with that when they come back, you're sadly mistaken. So our jobs as advocates and mentors and educators and leaders, it's going to be serious if you're dealing with the areas of family engagement, parents, and scholars. That is the biggest. That's larger than the economy, because we are the economy, right?
Right.
So we are the economy. So if a scholar, a high schooler who was just on even somewhat could figure out what they wanted to do and be, and now the COVID, right? no direction, no leadership. You're now out and walking around the streets. You can get up and go and do. There's just no boundaries, no protection around you. In the sense of rules still give you protection, right?
Right.
Consistency still gives you protection. Um, Setting up what time you're going to be at school, what time you get out of class and go to the next, that all sets up still some protection for you. Now parents are having to learn, and children are as well. How do I still operate on the level that I was, um, and higher, now that I'm having to only lean to my own understanding and my own discipline and my own guidance. And that's something that we all need to learn, because look, some days I'll be struggling too.
Yeah, I hear you. And so, if you were to, give three things that were absolutely necessary when schools reopen for parents to feel comfortable with, you know, even bringing their kids, what would that be?
Well,
What would
look,
your
so
top
that's a conversation that in our Zoom meeting yesterday with my staff, that we're all trying to figure that out, because in order to go forward, I got to have everybody's opinion on that within our staff, so that we can all look at those things and begin to um, work on those things, so that when a mom comes in, I can say, "Here's what we've done. Here's what we're doing." um,
right?
and they're not all going to be content with that. I know that. I know that. Just think about it, if it was you, reverse, and yourself too. Like, so I know I would ask, how are you going to keep them apart, right? Sanitation, and how are you going to help them get back to where they're supposed to be, grade level?
Yes, absolutely.
Because if they go truthfully, we didn't do nothing, Mama Kim. We didn't get nothing done. I couldn't get these kids up. We already hearing those statements, particularly with the older children. Mama Kim, I just couldn't get her. They didn't get up. I kept saying going there to get up, and it was just a fight every day, Mama Kim. And Mama Kim, they haven't done nothing. So I don't know. It's
Mm.
complex.
It
It's
is. And I think it's a process, and everyone is still working to figure that out. Some people are working a little harder than others, but we're definitely, asking the question of parents, and so parents, you who are watching, you're able to submit feedback in the comments or via email on what you feel is absolutely necessary in order to feel safe sending your child back to school. You can reach out to me at Christina at npunion.org. Always wanting it, willing and ready to respond and hear that feedback. And so, what did it require? Was it very challenging for Acoma to serve the community still during COVID, or what was your
No,
biggest challenge?
I have a very I the young people, and I call them young people because they all are able to be my children. Um,
Right.
I have some of the most dedicated, and most of them don't have children.
Right.
They don't have children, and so they go be above and beyond. But I think that also, because I love on them in such a way to where they know that it's expected, right? This is
Right.
not, yeah, it is expected then for you to love on them. And I've had to, even in the beginning when I said, well, look, we're going to have to create a distance learning program. We got to do it quick, right? Because we cannot allow our children to be out here wondering where we are. So,
Exactly.
so when we did that, I had a little pushback, and some of my mentors was like, this sounds like what the teachers are supposed to be doing. Aren't you a teacher?
Right.
What do you think mentor means? Like, just, hey, how you doing? Let's kick it, let's play basketball? Like, no,
No.
no, it's not. It means anything, any type of challenge that the scholar could encompass or inquire come about, we're supposed to try to help them to fix that. You got to secure them. You got to let them know everything's going to be okay. So this group of people that I have, they go above and beyond in making
That's
sure.
amazing.
And our mentors log in every single day from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock with our scholars. Teachers aren't even required to do that.
Right.
They're not
Right.
required to do
That's
that.
amazing.
But we
And
log in every single day,
mhm.
and they're in the Zoom, allowed to talk. They're still doing yoga. They just did an art project for their moms for Mother's Day. We have planted seeds.
Oh,
So they got cilantro growing at home right now. And then there's still the homework, those that do have homework, and trying to assist them with still doing that homework. But most of all, just being an encouraging spirit to let them know, hey, look, we're going to get out of this, you guys. But we just need you to keep logging in and keep coming in, and making sure that we know you're okay.
And so talk about how, the all of these things and experiences, you being a San Bernardino native, led to your passionate pursuit of being the city councilwoman of Ward 6, and just looking at the community in a way that's what you wanted to serve, bring back.
Well, I come from a family of servers. So that's just, I was just born into, into it's in my DNA. Um,
Right.
my family has built low to moderate income, affordable housing here on the west side, 2 apartment complex and single family homes as well. I had an uncle who worked in probation with youth, and was always on every committee making sure that children of color are able to get to college. In San Diego, I had aunts and uncles that worked with co-ops that were always in the community, giving back, teaching our children who they were. I've always just been, engrossed with it's not about you. It's about helping out. It's about digging in, getting your hands dirty, making sure that others have what they need. And so I was fortunate the majority of my children's life to be a homemaker. And so with that came me loving on other children whose mothers had to work.
Right.
So I was always there to help another mama out with picking somebody up or dropping them off, or being in a classroom and seeing somebody's child not being treated correctly, or needing to be disciplined, or have a conversation with. So that's just
Right.
always been who I am, and so of course I really just now am doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. You do a lot of things in life, right? I've been a
Right.
business owner, owns a couple of restaurants and stuff. And now is I'm doing what I'm supposed to, what is just natural for me to do. And that feels good at 56 years old to finally settle into your niche, and then
Yes.
still have hope for and be open to what's next. And
Right.
so that is something that is a message to women that every time I'm speaking to a young mother who is just like tired, and I'm like, look, you can recreate yourself, honey, anytime
Yes.
you get ready to do this. There was a time where I felt like I was going to do nothing else but be somebody's wife and somebody's mother. And if I had just done that, that still would have been great, because my children are fabulous kids. They're wonderful people. And I have 4 kids and 5 grandchildren. And so just being out there. And then when you can connect with like-minded people, and then that fuels you even more to do the good work, such as yourself. And parents has just always been, something that I could connect to, because I understood. And I understand that, if you don't have your GED, that doesn't mean nothing, baby. We can start working on this. Matter of fact,
That's right.
one of my staff members, mother of 6, is working on her GED, and it was a stipulation to hiring her. She was already working in this, volunteering in the school district, because she got 6 kids in the school district. Wonderful. You know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna train you, and because I see that you just need a chance. And
Right.
she's been with us now almost a year, thriving. And I said, the conditions are, though, you got to achieve that GED. Then you got to go on to Valley College. Then
Yes.
get your AA. These are the things that you have to do, because in her mind, she felt, I'm not going to be able to do I'm not doing nothing else besides this either, Mama Kim. I just know, because I didn't get my GED. I didn't do this. Girl, please
Wow.
stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So we can't just always talk that talk. You got to walk it too, and then open up a door for somebody to walk through so that they can prove to themselves that they are definitely worthy of achieving all that they have ever wanted to do.
And that is so encouraging. And I, hope that the people that are watching are encouraged by that message. Don't ever give up, just keep overcoming. And
Surrounding yourself by people who believe in you, surrounding yourself by people who fuel you and are like-minded. That is what they have to do.
And so, again, congratulations on your election as City Councilwoman of Ward 6 in San Bernardino. And, if you could leave us with a final thought and a word of affirmation, that would be great.
You should have told me to plan for that one.
That's okay.
Oh, because I probably have.
Mama Kim gonna be like, Christina,
I have Today is the day.
Right.
Today is the day.
Yeah.
We gotta focus on where we are. Like, don't think so much into the future. Don't relish on the past of the part that did not serve you or the part that made you feel bad about yourself.
Right.
Focus in right here. Just be present right now with today. That's what COVID as well has taught me. Just do what I can do, get done what I can get done today. Don't allow this world to overwhelm me with every issue and problem that it possesses. Let's deal with what we can deal with today. So whatever you're capable and able to do, get up and do that today. Don't put off today. Don't put it off. Let's get it done.
That's right. And that's the best word that you could bring. Today is the day.
Today is the day.
Yes. And you've all heard it. And so can you tell people how they can get more information about ACOMA? Also, have your City Councilwoman information that you'd like to share.
Definitely. ACOMA, we can be reached at info@ACOMA, that's AKOMA, unitycenter.org. And ACOMA stands for tolerance and patience. It's a Ghanaian term. And it stands for tolerance and patience. And so every time we turn around, that's what you have to give to yourself. And that's what you got to give to others is tolerance, and patience. So info@ACOMA, unitycenter.org. And you can reach me at Kim Calvin for Ward 6 @gmail.com. And that's Kim Calvin, the number 4, Ward 6 @gmail.com.
Thank you so much, Mama Kim.
Thank you for having me on, sis.
We'll see each other once they open up subs. I'll be seeing you. And so, again, I thank you for your service to the community and just your heart and your passionate pursuit and for not giving up. And one family at a time, one person at a time, one child at a time.
One block at a time.
Right? We can do this. So I am so hopeful, and thank you again for spending your time talking about these things. You guys all have been watching Managing Day to Day with me, Christina Laster, National Parents Union. I hope you're all well. Hope you're all thriving. Goodbye, America's beautiful children. We love you, and we will see you again tomorrow, same time, same place on National Parents Union Live Facebook. And we hope that you are just feeling encouraged, because I even am encouraged more today from hearing that message. Goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow.